Hey guys, this is Zack from Breakfast Mountain. I'm going to talk to you about how we can create a very versatile, cheesy techno sound. Before we get into how we're going to do this, how we're going to make this sound happen, I'm going to talk about why this kind of sound is useful today. If you listen to your Jammin' 107.5 radio R&B station, a lot of what you're going to hear sounds like all the synths are going to be like this like arpeggio shit. But you've got these hip-hop beats over them, and you've got people like Snoop Dogg rapping to them. It's touching on heavy melodies, stuff that like you don't know reaches right into the back of your subconscious and makes you feel the emotion that you felt when you were watching like Little Monsters as a kid or something, you know, like, or the dinosaurs, you know, like the same. It's that same like nostalgic feeling. For the purpose of this tutorial, this is a microKORG. This is the MS-2000. All the sounds are the same on this one. It's the bigger brother. It has the same sound engine, so it's essentially the exact same synthesizer, just easier editing. This keyboard is what's going to accompany it. I've got an Electro-Harmonix stereo memory man. In this tutorial, I've got it set so it's essentially a spring reverb. It's got a reverb built in, and I set the delay so that it sounds a lot like a spring reverb. And then I've got this Behringer $35 mixer that you can still, as far as I know, get today for the same price. Okay, to start out, we're going to use this sound from your microKORG. It's called the Energy Stab. It's NRG. You'll find it in the sound effects / hits section, I believe. It's if you're familiar with your microKORG, you probably recognize this sound. So this is what it sounds like dry. It's a pretty wacky sound. I've never been able to find a use for it aside from until I found out how to do this. Using this little Behringer mixer, we're basically going to make it like a really heavy distortion pedal. So first thing we're going to do is jam out the gain and the high and the low EQ. I have it in channel 1 where you have control of low and high EQ. If you have the larger $50 version, which is more common, it has low, mid, high. Do the same thing, just jam them all up to the top. Second thing we're going to do, you're hearing a lot of buzz because of the gain and everything is really high up. So to make the levels more similar to where they were before, I'm going to turn the main mix down. So you're going to end up with this like blown out version of that sound. So the next thing we're going to do is turn on the spring reverb. This is an Electro-Harmonix stereo memory man. The settings I have dialed in are essentially spring reverb settings. It sounds just like that dry. So if you have a Boss reverb pedal, you could switch to the spring reverb setting and just turn like the reverb all the way up, basically. So here we are. Because we have this jammed up so high, the gain's so high, it's essentially forming compression, so normally the sound waves are going to be, like, if you hear the dry signal, those waves are going to be way up here, and the reverb would probably be, like, around here. This is visualizing if you're looking at it on recording software. So we're getting this, like, as soon as you drop out the sound, as soon as you let go, like we'll do with the bass sound, you get that kind of decay out of it. The last step is to turn up the portamento. On your microKORG, you have to go through some dials, but I think it's in the pitch section of any patch that you're on. And on my MS-2000, I have it set just up past the 3rd line marker, which is just below 9 o'clock. So on your microKORG, you might be able to do the exact same thing. You just want to turn the knob so you hit the original value if you're familiar with your microKORG. Turn it all the way down to 0, and then turn it just below 9 o'clock. Like almost 8 o'clock, pretty much right in between. And that's the final step. You'll end up with this. Another thing you could use this same